Hello and welcome! Today we're going to farm damage. Well, actually I'm farming chaos and exalts, but in World of Warships we're farming damage. And for this purpose we're in the tier 8 Japanese aircraft carrier, the Kaga. We're playing on the map North. It's a standard battle at tier 8. So none of those pesky tier 10s or those easy to farm tier 6s. Because this is a standard battle, I don't expect destroyers will be rushing into the middle as they do in a domination game mode. So the plan here is, first of all, is to put a fighter somewhere where it can spot the enemy, so that my teammates have vision and can shoot them. The other point here, what I'm doing right now, is to try to get to the side and hopefully try to strike a cruiser, or maybe a battleship that doesn't have too much cover. Either of those would be more or less fine. Oh, there's a Veneto. Oh, and there's an Admiral Hipper. Now, striking cruisers it doesn't always work, but I find it's really useful. Remember the video that I made about how to stop a push? Or how to destroy a push? Well, striking cruisers with CVs basically can do the same thing, but this time, yeah, I think we're gonna hit only one. I use a heal so that my planes don't die immediately to all of the anti-air, and then I set up another drop on the North Carolina, and hopefully that deals some more damage than on the Admiral Hipper, but still. Yeah, 3 hits on the... I mean, I've done 17k damage. It's pretty acceptable. So the attack on the Hipper didn't really work out. However, we now know that the Hipper is basically going to be alone on that side. There's no real support. The Veneto and the North Carolina have both decided not to go there. There's a lightning somewhere over here, and I could drop a fighter. But not if it's within the anti-air of the destroyer, because fighters do get taken out pretty quickly, even by just destroyer AA. Oh, somebody's actually shooting my ship. I don't expect much is gonna happen from this kind of range though. Maybe we can soften the Hipper up a little more. It can be tricky though, because the Hipper doesn't really have to worry about anything else at the moment, unless she knows the Amagi is over there. But we'll see if she... I think I dropped a little too far. Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, completely missed too, by the way. Wow. I expected her to turn, but she decided not to. So the thing is, if you turn, your ship slows down massively. So you don't need to lead quite as much. But if the ship never turns and just keeps going full speed, everything can miss. But, I mean, the follow-up was 4 hits though, so I think that's pretty much alright. Also, if you're wondering why am I only launching torpedo bombers, that's because torpedo bombers on the Kaga are the absolute best thing to use. In fact, if you could only use torpedo bombers, that would be just fine. You sometimes want to use dive bombers for mostly striking destroyers. It's still RNG, but you can mostly make it work. But if you could, you would only use torp bombers all the time. I'm gonna try to finish off the Hipper, but not entirely certain the Amagi needs the help. Then again, if Hipper gets close enough to torp the Amagi, that would be really bad for us, because it's a random Amagi, right? Who knows whether he's actually going to dodge or not. So if we can prevent that, that would be perfect. Oh, come on! I didn't even finish her, but at least Amagi did. Okay, good. So, the Amagi is safe. The eastern side of the map is basically clear. I mean, look at it, right? There's nothing here, which means that we can go south from there. Yamagi is gonna appear somewhere and be basically on the flank of the enemy, potentially even threatening the Graf Zeppelin. Although I suspect that's not going to happen anytime soon. We're gonna strike the North Carolina here, though, because that's the only ship we can see. We could try to go past to try to find the Veneto, but I think NC is providing such a delicious broadside here, and she definitely isn't gonna do any kind of crazy maneuvering to avoid this, because there's a Cossack in front of her, which is a little more dangerous than my torpedoes are. At least a singular strike is. Do I go again? This is going to be rough though, because if I go again, I can only do one drop, I think. Because of the fighter planes that the Graf Zeppelin dropped there. If I stay for a second strike, I will have to weather the full assault of fighter planes. But I suppose we are close enough to the CV that we can just pull back. Oh, actually, I think NC is dead. Yeah, never mind. Immediate pullback, and let's go again. Because I don't lose planes if the planes immediately disengage and fly back to the CV. Fighters just aren't quick enough to catch up and start shooting them down. So, now the eastern side is even better off than before. There's basically only a Tone and potentially a lightning over there. I could go spot the lightning, but I think the other side of the map might need a little bit of my help too. The other thing is that even if I do find a lightning, it's difficult for me to do damage to her. I could potentially drop with dive bombers, but it would be rough with torpedo bombers. I dump my first set of torpedo bombers because I'm only going to do one attack on this Richelieu. I mean, she has a Cleveland and a Veneto behind her. There's no way I can do a second strike. So I have to pull back immediately anyway, even if I had a full squadron there. And even with a heal, it would have been a bad decision. Hey, all four landed. Wow, 2 floodings even. Damn, she's definitely going to use damage yeah, she definitely used damage control party on that. So now we just try to go back as quickly as we can and do a follow-up. Maybe the Cleveland and the Veneto have repositioned a little, so I might be able to get 2 strikes. We'll see. I'm not sure if I should go closer, because I don't know exactly where the lightning is. My CV isn't spotted, so clearly the lightning hasn't come through the gap to head over to our cap zone. But still, if I just run headfirst into her, that could be pretty bad. So I'm gonna try to follow my Amagi and Amalfi a little bit, as they try to wrestle with a Tone. And Richelieu decided to go forward a little bit. The question is whether she's actually going forward or just pretending. Because players do like to pretend sometimes and throw your aim off. So a second strike too. You know what, let's just strike the Cleveland. The heal is, whenever the heal is going, basically it's impossible to lose planes. Or I suppose it's possible, but it's extremely unlikely. So you can dive into crazy AA when that happens. Oh, and my CV is at risk. There is a lightning somewhere over here. Oh, we got the Cleveland, nice. But there is a lightning somewhere here, and we're gonna try to find her. She's probably on this edge somewhere. Oh, yeah, there she is. Let's just try to turn around a little bit so that we can do a proper strike from behind. But she could potentially just sit in the smoke here, and I think I'll just sit on top of her if she is gonna do that. Because lightning smoke screens don't last for a whole bunch of time. Oh! If she fires, we can, you know, just blind drop. We got really close on that one. If she hadn't sailed out of the cap, we probably would have landed those. Oh, I turned the wrong way. Thank God we have the Richelieu here to actually engage the lightning though, otherwise she'd be attacking me. Come on! Nice! So the drops are RNG a little bit, but you can help quite a lot by aiming the drop properly. I don't think the lightning could just be chasing me until the very edge. So I'm gonna try to turn a little bit, maybe have some secondary action. Okay, probably not. Hopefully not. Because that does put my CV at risk too. Oh, hello lightning. That wasn't actually a very good drop. Because if the bombs had dropped slightly lower, or if I had just gotten unluckier, the bombs would have easily just missed because the lightning was sliding sideways and would have slid out of that circle or ellipse. Since I already have the dive bombers up, I'm gonna keep on them, especially since my torpedo bombers are slowly starting to dwindle in number. The target of the strike is going to be that Bismarck. We're going over an island, so the Bismarck won't have advance notice. Well, basically, she'll spot us, when we're in her anti-air, and we should get a good angle because of that. She shouldn't have enough time to do any kind of evasive maneuvers, and she doesn't have any support, which means that this should be a really good drop for us. Hello, Bismarck. Would you like a special delivery? Let's jump over the flak bubbles. Yep, see? She's trying to turn, but there just wasn't enough time because the island blocked the vision. We started a fire, which she put out immediately. There's a chance that when we do the follow-up, no, it should be pretty likely that on the follow-up drop, her damage control party should already have run off. Which means that if we get another fire, that should be a perma-fire. We pull back, immediately launch torpedo bombers, of course. Because if she keeps her current course, we should be able to do a very devastating attack on her. And then potentially sink her. Because that fire damage is gonna add up. Maybe we get a flooding. That would add up too. She's down to 16k already. Yeah, a single strike, a well-placed strike could easily finish her off here. I'm a little worried about the fact that she's gonna see me coming and she's basically flat broadside. Now, that should sound like a good thing, but sadly, this does give her plenty of time to actually turn out. But you don't really notice that because, you know, right now she doesn't appear to be turning out too much, right? But by the time my torps are in the water, she's basically gonna be going exactly the same direction the torpedoes are, and we're only gonna land one torp, probably. Yep, only one. It caused the flooding though, so I suppose it'll be additional damage. Oh, damn, I accidentally started another attack run. That was an accidental misclick, whoops. So you don't have to actually drop when you do this, you just have to ride it out and you can go do your other drop. Oh, come on, the Bismarck survived at 25 HP, 25. But we're gonna do a drop on the Richelieu. Hopefully we cause another flooding. If we do, we're gonna come back with dive bombers, because we've run out of torpedo bombers, sadly. Yep, dive bombers it is. And hopefully the Z-23 or anyone else can just take a single salvo on the Bismarck, and that should finish her. Oh, a flooding, nice. And damage is not taking up anymore, which means Richelieu has used her damage control party. Therefore, if we set a fire, that's a perma-fire. Seriously? 25 HP? Please, Z-23, fire your guns once. Just a single... Oh, she is. Excellent. Thank you very much, Z-23. And there she goes. There is the enemy Z-23, but looking at the fact that she's gonna meet an Edinburgh face first, I don't think there's much help needed over there. Edinburgh is gonna eat that Z-23 easily. And our focus was the Richelieu anyway. We're gonna be able to do a second pass. Antair did not shoot down enough planes to prevent another pass. Turn around, and we go again. If we get a second fire, that Richelieu is guaranteed dead. But you don't always get a second fire. Drop wasn't perfect. Anyways, since we have torpedo bombers again, of course we're going to use torpedo bombers again, and the target is going to be that Vittorio Veneto over there. I'm gonna also sail straight towards her, because at this point, why the hell not? We're in a 5 versus 3, we're easily winning, so I don't think... I still have plenty of HP, I don't think they can win this anymore. Which means that the closer I am, the more strikes I can do. Therefore, we're gonna sail closer. I'm gonna try to line up on the side of the Veneto, so that if she tries to turn to avoid my torps, she'll show broadside to the Bismarck and Richelieu. Also, Veneto used smokescreen. Well, that's cute. That is very cute. You know, I can see the actual smokescreen, right? I mean, Of course it's harder to drop, and they aren't nearly as good as they are normally, but look, the Veneta doesn't even know there are planes coming anymore, right? Because she can't see them. She has no idea how she should potentially even try to avoid these, because she basically blinded herself. We're gonna do a dive bomber follow-up because, well, we ran out of torpedo bombers. 1, 2, 3. Perfect drop on that one. Thank you very much for turning your anti-air off, or I guess your eyes closed. And, well, the smoke screen ran out, and now we're in a good position to do a dive bomber strike. An ally asked me whether I should be further back, and the answer is no, I'm already not close enough. I can't even hit him with my sword. I don't think we can really do a follow-up on the Veneta, so either a strike on the Tonne or the Graf Zeppelin. Zeppelin, she's striking me. That's interesting. I don't think that has any value. I mean, it improves the damage of the CV player by 2,317, but it has no actual value on winning or losing the game. I hope I don't really have to drop the Tonne. Tonne is a maneuverable cruiser, and unlike the Admiral Hipper at the start of the game, who we didn't know whether she was any good, like she could have been the worst player in the world, right? Because it's the start of the game, we don't know that. But considering that this Tonne has survived 17 minutes, she's probably at least adept at survival. So I'm not really looking forward to striking her, but because she's using her planes right now, she isn't controlling her ship. So this should be a perfect opportunity to strike her. But Tonne is really fast, so we need to lead by a lot. Oh, she's turning. Oh, come on, she's turning in. She has already finished the strike. Oh, damn. That's unfortunate. Okay, fine. We'll do a follow-up on the Graf Zeppelin then. We have a heal, so we can do the strike. A little change of angle, and this should be pretty good. Follow up with dive bombers, because we've run out of torpedo bombers. But that's alright. Game is almost over anyway. Ooh, all 4 tarps landed. Excellent. I'm really miffed that I didn't land any of the tarps on the Tonne though. Damn. I was hoping Tonne would be flying for a little longer. So, if you don't know, Tonne is an aviation cruiser, and on aviation cruisers, you can launch planes just like CVs. You fly around with them yourself. But at the same time, your control over your ship is just like CVs. You can only give the same types of commands, which aren't exactly precise or accurate. So we're definitely gonna go strike the Graf Zeppelin. Tier 8 cruiser or Tier 8 CV should have thin enough decks that I should be able to get penetrating hits. I think she's gonna turn... Wait, no, she's not turning out. What the hell? Why is she not turning out? Why is she turning in? Why is she sailing closer? Oh, come on. This is gonna be a bad angle for a dive bombing strike. I mean, it doesn't look like it, right? But it's gonna be a bad angle. See? Only 1 bomb hit. For 1,452 damage. That was very unfortunate. The angle just did not line up. I should have anticipated that she would just keep turning the way she was. Oh well. Maybe we can do a follow-up, although... Zeppelin's dead to the Richelieu. Yep, goodbye. And we're probably not gonna be able to do a strike on the Tonne. She just doesn't seem to have enough HP. If the Bismarck fires, which she did just now... Yeah. Well, it's fine. $244k damage. I guess we got our damage farm this game, right? 38 torp hits, 2492 base XP. This was an excellent game. A seriously excellent game. 151k straight up from the torps. 42k with the dive bombers. Considering the fire damage added, that's actually quite significant, but... Yeah, torps are what you should use on the Kaga. Here's the commander skills that I used. It's a really nice build. Air Supremacy, improved engines, then aircraft armor, then aircraft improved HP or survivability expert, proximity fuse, sight stabilization, torpedo bomber, and then the extra heal. Because the heal is on torpedo bombers and you want to use torpedo bombers. Upgrades, flight control, torpedo bomber HP, torpedo bomber torpedo speed, aircraft engine modification, and air groups modification 1. You want to buff your torpedo bombers in every way you can. Also, don't use your rocket planes basically at all. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, and I hope I'll see you guys next time.